What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Zach and Pat Show. I'm Zach.
I'm Pat.
This is the show about manhood, fatherhood, entrepreneurship, and the mentality it takes to be successful at those things. And we'll probably sprinkle in some helpful real estate advice too, because that's what Pat and I do. You know, life can be tough. We can go through some things and struggle at times, but this is the show to let you know that you're not alone. So if you're someone out there going through any of these things, this is the show for you. Shout out to our friends at NeuroGum for keeping us energized and focused. NeuroGum is a chewing gum, as well as they've got mints. Got caffeine, L-theanine, and vitamins B6 and 12. Helps with memory and focus. I like to chew NeuroGum really whenever especially when I'm making phone calls to my clients, whenever before a big meeting, whenever I'm driving around and I'm feeling a little tired or groggy, I'll just pop a piece and it gets me to where I need to be. It's only about 40 milligrams of caffeine per piece, so not a ton of caffeine. It's gonna get you super jittery. Or if you want to take a piece, later in the day, it's not going to keep you up all night because it's only about 40 milligrams, about half a cup of coffee. So get out there and try some NeuroGum.
Shout out to Captain Beard Co. So if you're looking for great products for your beard, they make this unbelievable beard butter, balm, and oil. I use that to keep mine feeling fresh and looking good. They also have body wash, shampoo, and conditioner, all things made with all natural ingredients here locally in St. Louis. They also have a candle line with everything. Everything smells amazing. So if you're looking for any new products, give them a try. And when you go to checkout, use the promo code Zach and Pat for 10% off your purchase.
Also, shout out to our friends at Hand Wraps Rolling Papers. Hand Wraps are it's a local company here to St. Louis. They make extremely high quality rolling rice and hemp rolling papers for cannabis. So if you are a cannabis user and it's something you're interested in, I think they're the best quality, and they're in 16 local dispensaries here in town. So get out there and check them out if you're into that sort of thing. So what's up, man?
Oh,
I feel like we haven't done one of these in a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We did the book review. I feel like, yeah, I mean,
I guess
it's been about a month.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but, since we did the 3-2-1.
Yeah,
since we did a one-on-one.
One-on-one, yeah. It's been, we did the 100th episode. That was kind of a big one, but we had that one a little bit more planned, which, with these duets, we kind of come in with a plan, but a lot of times it's just you and I kind of bullshitting sometimes.
Yeah.
So just kind of catching up on how things are going. So how's things in Pat's world?
Yeah, I mean, it's finally adjusted. I mean, I think just like with anybody, like with the seasons, it's getting colder and darker sooner. So, it's not as chipper or happy as normal, but I mean, all in all, doing pretty good. Getting settled into the apartment. I mean, it's dark. It's dark. It's just like I wish I could paint it white because I came from a house that had a bunch of windows and was all white, just real bright. It's just so dark in there. But no, I mean, all in all, good. Business is good. It's pretty crazy how busy it's been the last, month and a half since the election, which is great. All those people that were waiting for the election and it happened, and now they're hopping into the market. And I think with it being a buyer's market right now, I think it's a great time for people to buy, and some people are finally starting to realize that and really hopping in on it. So
yeah, I've noticed my business pick up over the last month as well. I've had several new listings, which is great for the buyers out there, and I've got a couple buyers I'm working with, but this year has been a weird. I was telling someone earlier today, it's definitely been a transition for me where I've, it seems like that's kind of the progression most agents go, where they their first handful of years are mostly surrounded. You're mostly servicing buyers. I was pretty fortunate. From the jump, I had a handful of listings, so I got some experience with that. But this year, I've definitely refined, and I've definitely got my processes down and my just the whole system for what I do when I list houses. So it's been a nice it's been a good year for that. Like I've learned a lot, and I've grown a lot this year. It's been it's been my best year yet for sure,
awesome.
Volume wise. So I just want to keep growing and just getting better at this thing.
Yeah,
learning more every week.
So you coming close on your goals, or did you hit your volume goal?
Yeah, I hit my volume goal. I wanted to sell 75 houses this year, which I'm not even close to that. But but that was also me kind of thinking that I some things happened that didn't exactly pan out like I had thought with bringing some people onto the team and stuff. So, but hey, it's all good. I'm really happy with where I'm at, and now I kind of know moving forward if I'm gonna build a team that I need to have some systems and processes in that are and choosing people that are gonna be willing to kind of do the things that I teach and
Yeah.
show them. So, you know, but it's been a good year. Can't complain at all.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I set a very lofty goal for this year, which I knew was going to be tough to meet. But that's the point of it, to push myself. But all in all, I mean, it's been a good year. I'm going to be a little bit off of where I was last year by about 6 deals. But the biggest thing I've noticed is the volume. My volume is down compared to where it's been previous years in terms of like average loan amounts. So it's just, especially with housing affordability, you're seeing more people go towards those lower priced homes, 200,000 or less, just because that's where they're wanting to be on a monthly payment, which is great. When I talk to my clients, I always want them to, I always tell them, I'm like, if you can find a house that you want for a monthly payment that you're comfortable with, then you should buy.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I always tell people. I'm always like, or I always say people buy off the monthly payment.
Mhm.
That's the biggest thing. It's like that. Are you going to be comfortable with shelling that out every month? Because if you're not, then this is not the
Right,
right house for you to buy.
right, and just getting in and knowing that as you own that home, it's going to appreciate in value. You're going to build equity. I mean, it's not going to be as quick of equity building as people may think,
Right.
just because of where interest rates are at and how mortgages work. A lot of your initial payment in the first handful of years is going to be more interest than principal. But that's why
Right.
we always say, hey, if you can throw an extra $100 a month towards your principal, it makes a big difference.
For sure.
Um, and so, at a minimum, but ultimately, yeah, it's been, my loan amounts previous years were hovering around 250, 260, and I'm just over 200 this year. So like, even if I was closing the same amount of loans, being just six shy of where I was at last year, and who knows, it's still time to get deals in for the end of the year. Um, volume wise, I'd say I'm about 4 million off on where I was last year just because of that,
Yeah.
which is fine. I don't, that's not what's the volume for me isn't what it's important. It's the families that I can help get into a house or reduce their monthly payment or things like that.
Of
So,
course. Yeah, and the more people you help, the more people,
right.
more your business is going to grow. Just because, especially when you do such a great job like you do, everybody's going to tell all their family and friends about you. So it's going to help you years moving forward.
Right.
Yeah, it's good, man. What do you think of this book we're reading so far?
Honestly, I haven't gotten it yet. I
Oh, really?
ordered it and it's supposed to be delivered today.
Okay.
So yeah, it's well, what pisses me off? Okay. In Amazon, I put that I'm in an apartment.
Yeah.
Well, they can only deliver the packages Monday through Friday when the front door is unlocked, which is from 9 to 5. So yeah, I ordered it and I get a call and I wake up and I had a missed call at like 4:30 from Amazon. And like, we couldn't get into your apartment complex. Well,
Yeah.
no shit. It's fucking
In
4:30.
the morning. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, why are you calling me at 4:30 in the morning? Like, anyway, so yeah, so it's been delayed, but I should have it today.
Yeah,
So,
we have Amazon drivers just show up. I mean, all of a sudden, our dog Cooper, will just be losing his mind at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and
mm,
he, what's going on out there? And then you look on the Ring camera, it's like, oh, Amazon's here at
yeah,
4 in the morning.
yeah.
That's
That was
just,
a first for me. I didn't know they came
oh
out
yeah,
that
dude,
early.
they show up at fucking all hours of the night.
Oh
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, but funny that we're reading the book we're reading is called Good Inside.
Mm,
I can't remember the author, Becky something.
something.
But anyway, it's a parenting book, which is great. It's kind of a change of pace from normally
You like it
what.
so far?
So far so good.
Yeah.
I'm only about 30 pages in, so I haven't read a ton yet, but
Mm,
I'm gonna really start digging into it. And I'll probably eventually get the audiobook too, if I depending on how where we're at toward the end of the month,
yeah.
and but that'll be fun. Gina's reading it too, so the game plan is to have her come on the show too, which will be fun. I think she's nervous about coming on her first podcast, so
Oh, maybe I should give it to Melissa. And
yeah,
it's just
do a
yeah.
four-way. Yeah,
Yeah.
be fun.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's good. Oh, and funny in true like parenting fashion, or I don't know. It was just like I felt like this. Of course, it happened with this book. Right when it shows up, I have it like sitting on the kitchen counter, and Calvin was kind of having one of his moments where he was wanting some attention, and
Mm.
because we were paying attention to Theo or something, and he goes over and grabs the book and just Gronk spikes it right into Cooper's water bowl. I was, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like I literally, I just opened the Amazon package like
Yeah.
20 minutes ago and I'm just like, oh, cool, it's here. And I
Yeah.
just set it on the counter and, we weren't giving him attention that he
Yeah.
wanted. And he just grabbed it, runs over and slams it right into the water bowl. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn it. So I had to like hang it up so it was dry and let it
Yeah.
dry out for a day before I could. So that's why I'm behind.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why-
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
wet.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
so.
how's the journey with the testosterone going?
So far so good.
Yeah.
I go in. I think it's next week or no? I think the week after.
Mhm.
I go in to get my blood checked. That'll be my like 3-month
Yeah,
check in. Which
same.
I'm really curious to see where I'm at. I feel good.
Right.
I've been feeling good. I'm feeling really strong in the gym.
No,
That's where I've
it's
noticed it
big.
significantly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the other day I had a 40-pound PR on my deadlift. So
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, and
Right.
I haven't been deadlifting that much either. So I was like, holy shit, like, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's awesome. Yeah, same. I think was I like 385, and then went up to 425.
Yeah.
Yeah, over
incredible.
Yeah, it's
over
great.
a 2-month period.
Yeah, like, and then today doing benches and like bench wasn't ever anything that we would do for baseball. It's just not a workout
Right.
that you're doing. It's tough on the shoulders. It's not something that you want. It takes away your flexibility and all that, your flexion, tension, and all that stuff. But went in and we're doing reps. We're establishing our 5 rep max, and I was impressed. I was 225 for 5.
5.
Yeah, so
Great.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, this is something. Like, definitely, I can notice a difference in like the definition, the muscular definition of my body. I haven't been putting on weight, but at the same time, body fat's been dropping and muscle mass is going up in weight. So, there's that trade off.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always fucking hungry.
Yeah.
You
I've
know?
been trying to gain.
Mhm.
I'm kind of going through like a bulk right now because I ultimately want to, put on some size and then kind of shred down in the summer
Yeah.
next year is the plan that I have with Bree. And, so she's got me a ton right now. And, so I'm eating like just over 3,000 calories and I've been doing that for probably about a month and a half or 2 months now. So, I mean, I'm just eating.
Yeah,
But
I'm
the
at
only problem is like, man, there'll be some days where I fuck up and I don't eat enough during the day, and then
Yeah.
I gotta pig out at night
yeah,
to get it all in, which is not the best way to do it. But
Well, yeah, that was the thing. Is like I kind of plateaued, where I was just kind of like no longer losing the weight. Like, starting off, like the weight was like falling off, but kind of like plateaued, and I was like stuck at this like 260 weight for a long time, and then started to go back up a little bit, and then like I tested right before we started testosterone. I was at 265, and then since taking it, I've been right around 270, 269, 270 for like the last couple weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's like everything still fits right. It's just like I feel like my muscles are getting big, like I'm getting stronger.
Yeah.
Which is great. Energy wise has been awesome. That was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to take it. Just because I would like halfway through the day, I'd like crash. Like I would just go into this brain fog and not be able to do anything. And that's starting to, I mean, it's not completely gone, but it's fading away. Like, it's not as drastic as I was, like, where I'm like, fuck, I would fall asleep staring at my computer.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck just happened? How
Yeah.
much time did I just lose by
Nodding off.
snoozing at my computer? And so that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is like, it's really made me realize like how important sleep is. Because if I'm not getting a solid 8, then I'll be tired, So I've enjoyed it. I've liked it. I think I'm on week 10 tomorrow's the start of week 11. So yeah.
I think I'm on 11 or something. I think because I'm like a week or a couple days ahead of you or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so far so good. I've
Yeah,
been digging it. So I think it's a good decision. I'm feeling good, and I've got no negatives to say about it other than like just having to stick a needle in my ass a couple times a week.
Yeah. And like, it's like, what it is, and it's really not that.
No,
it's not painful, but like there's always that like slight hesitation. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like right there, and I'm like,
Go. Yeah. 1, 2.
And like sometimes I'll put it in and I'm like, oh, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And then other times there's like there'll be the pinch, but yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
This doesn't hurt. It's just
No.
that psychological thing, like, that needle. No, 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 fuck
Yeah. Just do it.
it. So
Yeah. But anyway, today we wanted to, this is kind of something we've kind of it's become a regular thing on our show. We do usually do it at least once a month where we go through James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, his newsletter. If you're not subscribed, I highly
That's
recommend it. It's
great.
free to subscribe. Just go on there and sign up for it.
It
And,
really makes you think.
yeah, it comes out every Thursday. So this is the one that came out on
Last Thursday.
on November 28th. If you want to go
So
check it out.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So yeah, this one came out on Thanksgiving. So the whole concept of it is his 3-2-1. So it's 3 ideas from me, 2 quotes from others, and 1 question for you. So let's start it off here. First, the 3 ideas for me. First one is you can lose yourself one small compromise at a time. You can transform yourself one small win at a time.
Yeah, I mean, it's so true. Personally, you know, there's times where, you like the tracking of the meals, like, hey, it's very easy for that to snowball and get away from that. But all it takes is just, I might miss a day, but not letting that snowball into 2 days or 3
Yeah.
days or 4 days and just getting right back on it because that one win is going to propel me to track again.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
and like last week, for instance, like I'm sure you didn't track on Thanksgiving. I didn't track on Thanksgiving. I ate like an asshole,
Yeah.
but that's
Oh, yeah.
kind of the whole point of the holiday.
and that's the thing is then I forgot to track on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was a good boy.
Yeah. So I forgot to track that Friday. Rachel's got me pre-tracking. So that like tracking the night before,
Helps
which
a
is
ton.
amazing.
Because then you're like, you don't have to think about it.
Right.
'cause
You just follow the plan that you've already got laid out. And I forgot to pre-track on Thanksgiving that night before Friday. And then I just completely forgot about it Friday until Friday night hit. And
like,
oh shit.
Forgot.
But that's the thing. It can snowball.
Yeah, snowball, it happens easy.
Yeah. But then again, got right back into tracking and here we are 5 days in a row now.
And and that shit can happen with everything.
Yeah,
Whether
anything.
it's training or work or you let like small little things, just go that you shouldn't.
Right.
Like these small compromises that you allow to happen, and then you look at yourself a month later, you're like, how the fuck did I get here?
Right.
Like, how the fuck did I let that happen?
Letting that bitch voice win.
Yeah.
I've done it. I had my bitch voice has been strong lately, but so I can't look at what the workout is on Wodify.
Yeah.
Because I'll look at, like, if I would have looked at the workout today,
oh yeah,
I would have convinced myself not to fucking go. But I'm so glad that I didn't, and I just showed up, and it was the hardest. It was the hardest workout I've done at CrossFit.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I've heard you say this a couple times.
I know,
now.
but
There's always one that
but hold
tops
on,
the
hold on,
one.
but like that's the thing. Like before this, it was Karen, which is the exact same thing, which is pretty much the exact same thing we did today,
which is wall balls and burpee box jump.
Yeah, but Karen, you have like 28 minutes to complete everything.
What was the workout today?
So they called it's something about Despicable Me.
Yeah, it's like the Despicable Me week.
But yeah, I mean, it was wall balls and burpee box jumps or jump overs, but you only had 20 minutes. And so the first progression you would do, you had basically 7 minutes. You did 27 wall balls, 15 burpee box jump overs, 21 wall balls, 12 burpee box jump overs, 15 wall balls, 9 burpee box jump overs. And then you got the rest for 3 minutes. The next one was 21 wall balls, 12 burpees, and then 15 and 9, and then 9, 6. Then you got a 2-minute rest. Then it was 15 and 9. 15. Was it? Yeah, 15 and 9. 9 and 6. 6 and 3. Yeah, 20 minutes to do all that.
A lot of reps.
Yeah,
burpee box jump overs are just that's a tough movement.
Right. Our RX was 20-pound med ball, 24-inch box.
Yeah.
Level 2 was 14-pound ball and 20-inch. And so I did, but level 2 was the same rep scheme.
Yeah.
So I did level 2, and I was fucking shot. Like I made it through I made it through 2 rounds. So I had the whole third round to get through. So 54 reps that I missed out on. So,
Damn.
but that was after we did a 15-minute build up to our 5 rep
Max
max
on
bench press.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a hell of a workout. I
Yeah.
wanted to go to that. I've been going to CrossFit a lot more
Yeah.
lately with, taking some time off jujitsu, but am I itching to get back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh God, I was thinking about it last night. I was like having some like, kind of just like some anxiety yesterday. And I was
Really?
like, what is wrong with me? Like everything's good. I've got all these things going. Like everything like it's usually like if there's something I forgot about at work that I can't, that
Yeah.
I can't remember, like, and then all of a sudden it'll come to me. But I was like, it's probably just because I haven't done jujitsu in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is like a long time for me to not train.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm itching to get back there tomorrow.
Out of that routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's been a struggle for me with the kids, like trying to like working out and all that, because I like to work out in the morning, but with the school when I have the kids, I mean, Connor's drop off is 9 a.m. So
it's hard. You
yeah,
can't make it.
I can't make anything. I can't go to an earlier class because
Right.
I've got them,
And
so now it's pushing those workouts to either 5:30.
I wish there was a noon.
That'd be
day.
cool.
That would be.
I know they got the open gyms, but
Yeah, they used to do noons on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't think they do that anymore.
No.
I liked because that was ideal for me because I
Yeah.
could just get there. I could drop because I usually drop my kids off between 8 and 9, depending on the day and what my mother-in-law's got going on. So, it's nice. I can drop them off at 8:30 and the gym's like 10 minutes from her house, so I can just scoot right over and it works out nice. But yeah, if there was a noon, that would work nicely for my schedule, just because then like I could always make it no matter what.
Yeah.
There's some mornings where shit happens and can't get them out the door, and
yeah.
oh yeah,
Like, I know that.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Let's go to the next one.
Number 2. You don't have to be good at everything. You just need to double down on what you're naturally suited for. So, I mean, it just goes back to everything that we always talk about is, if you want to be the best at something, like you're going to have to sacrifice other things because you can't be the best at everything.
Yeah.
You're going to be mediocre at everything. So find that one thing that you're all in on or find that one thing that you like or love and go all in on it and be the best at that one thing.
Dude, this is something I struggle with this one a lot because I do like, and the first thing that comes to my head with this one is like jujitsu and CrossFit, because those are two things that I do regularly, and like I love both of them and I have a lot of fun at both of them and I enjoy the communities at both of them, but like ultimately, like if I had to pick one, I would pick jujitsu. Like if I had to pick one thing if you can only do one thing for the rest of your life, it would be jujitsu. And just because that's something I just have such a passion for and I love it. And so like there's times where I'll go to CrossFit. I'm like, man, I fucking suck at this. I want to get better at these things. But I just know the time dedication that it would take to get better at Olympic lifts and like cleans and snatches and stuff. Like those are something that I'm definitely not very good at. A lot of the like gymnastics movements that I'm not very good at, like that I would love to improve and get better at muscle ups and handstand walking and all these things that are like really difficult that I really can't do at all. I mean, I can hit a couple muscle ups every now and then on a good day, but like it's not something I'm ever repping out in a workout.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man,
we're not Wyatt who can step up to the bar and do 15 of them.
Yeah, like cold with no, like, dude, just some people just have that.
Fuck you, Wyatt.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That fucking day, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't even know like what he like. He's definitely not like working out like I am. Like, what the fuck? How come I can't do that? Like, damn.
Some people just have different functional strength.
Yeah.
So,
but so like I just I've always wanted to be but it's like jiu-jitsu is the thing that I'm focused on. It's like, okay, that's the one I want to excel at this. This is the one I do I compete regularly in. This is the one that like I have a huge passion for, that like I would hope to do this forever.
Yeah.
And and so like there's been times where I'm like, man, like I struggle with that. But but ultimately I know like jiu-jitsu is the focus, and Rachel and all them know that. Like they know that's what what I really love, and so and they've always been super respectful of that. So
yeah. I mean, for like mine, for the longest time was like I wanted to be the best loan officer. Like I'm going to be the best loan officer. But and after a marriage falling apart, I mean, for many reasons, but that being one of them, being solely focused on work, and then how that affected my relationship with my kids, then I came back around and realized like my kids are the most important thing. So like I want to be the best dad. Like that's my focus, which means I'm not going to be the best, like shooting to be the best loan officer. Man, maybe when they're older, I've got plenty of time. I'm not going anywhere in this business. Like I just like so now it's maintaining where like well and continuing to grow, but not grow at that rapid rate that I was. I know Nick may not like hearing that, but anyway, but that's the thing is like I mean I want to have a life. I want to be able to have and do things with my kids, and that's the thing is like you know learning how to control my schedule and making sure I'm effective in the time that I have available to me, so that when the time does come that I can hang out with my kids, that I can put the phone away. I
Yeah.
can spend time with them and hang out with them and be with them and do the things that a great dad does and be able to teach them those things and like yeah still show them like hey yeah you still have to work hard and you still have to put in the effort and all that to be good at your job and still like customer service wise and getting loans closed like yeah I still feel like I'm one of the best at that but like volume wise I'm not nearly one of the best at volume
Yeah.
or units or whatever you want to call it I'm in the top 10 of our region but that's that's just not something that is a huge driver. It's not saying that I'm taking a step back from what I'm doing, but it's just saying that shifting my focus to being better, especially as a single father, like that's the most important thing right now. Maybe as they, and like I said, as they get older and I can start shifting back to that focus of being the best loan officer out there, then yeah, I will. But for
Yeah.
now, like,
Well, that's something I've definitely learned from you this year. Of us doing this podcast and you and I spending so much time together is I've you know kind of learning from your mistakes.
yeah,
Like that was there's times this year where I've definitely caught myself like not being the best dad and like paying way more attention to work instead of the kids and like I catch myself like no this is their time. I gotta put the phone down. I gotta not
right,
work on this deal's gonna be here in 3 hours when they go to sleep.
right,
I can handle it then.
yeah,
And and there are times where I still struggle with that, but I've definitely I've learned that from you this year. And like I'm like I gotta realize what's truly important to me and what there are things that can wait.
yeah,
And there- and I just I need to put my family first.
yeah. Well, and
It's
like I don't want to ever like that's the thing. Obviously, there was other issues in our marriage, but that wasn't that was a factor to it, and I don't want anybody else to go through that. Like, I mean, as amicable as and easy as Melissa and I've made it look, it's not. I mean, we still have our struggles, we still have our arguments, and we still have our fights. We just communicate it better. Um, but I mean, ultimately, like, I don't wish anybody to ever get divorced. I mean, it's not. It's not a fun. It's not fun.
no.
It's not fun at all. No, but you know, yeah, I mean, but it did it. It was a huge wake up call, a huge smack in the face, and so yeah, that's my um perspective changed on what was going to be best. But like that's I mean, if this was different, like if this was baseball, or like where I have a limited opportunity to do this, like I only have a short window of like 10 years. Sure, at that point, yeah, I might have to say, listen, like I've got a short period of time for this, so I need to give all my focus and do what I can to be the best at this at that time. And that's what I did when I was playing. But I say I was in the big leagues, like that would be my focus, and I would have to make sure I had a partner with that, kids that understood that, and like, hey, once this is done, this is just a short period of time in Dad's life, then we're gonna make that shift. But with this job, fuck, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do this forever,
forever.
right? So I can put that on hold right now, so I can raise my kids and teach them where they need to be. So, but yeah, I mean, totally, just make sure that whatever it is that you're wanting, narrowing that down and going all in on it.
Next one. Train hard and focus on what you can control. Yeah, man, this is something my football coach would always say, and it's a line that kind of stuck with me. Is, hey boys, we need to control the
Yep,
controllables.
same
We can't,
baseball.
we can't control what the other team's going to do. We can't control what kind of plays they're going to run, what kind of offense they're going to run. We can control what we're going to do. And so, like, let's control our stuff. We can't worry about what everybody else is doing. And it's something that applies to just about pretty much everything. You gotta,
Mhm.
whether it's real estate, whether it's fitness, whether it's your family. Like, you can only control the things that you can control, and you can't worry about, you can't fixate on these like outside factors that are completely out of your control. Because
It's just gonna drive you crazy.
yeah,
It's gonna make you paranoid. I mean, same thing with baseball. I mean that especially as a pitcher, because once that ball leaves your hand, like yeah, you should as a pitcher should have enough control to know where you're throwing a pitch. Sometimes yeah, pitch gets away and it's a mistake, and Sometimes you get away with making a mistake, most of the time not. But once that ball leaves your hand and gets put into play, you have zero control. And you can't if a guy puts a good swing on the ball, gets a hit. I can't control that. Hats off to that guy. But you see a lot of guys get down on themselves, like if some error gets made or they don't get a pitch called for a strike or something like that. Like it's it can really like mentally put people down. And then on this side of things, on our business, especially my side, it's like, listen, I know I'm not for everyone. Like I know that I'm not going to win every deal or every person that I talk to. I'd love to. That'd be great. But I know that I'm not. I don't have the highest rates. I don't have the lowest rates. I'm usually right there with everybody else. But there's always going to be somebody that undercuts it. And I used to take that very personally. But then I realized, like, hey, listen, you know what? Hey, you got a great deal on this. That's awesome. Good for you. Hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, call me back. And so just leave it at that. Like I used to just stress and freak about that, but it would just cause so much anxiety, stress that it just wasn't worth it. So, yep, yep. Control the controllables. All right, what do we got next? 2 quotes from others. You want to take this short one, and I'll take the long one.
Sure. Appreciate that. Scientist Danella Meadows on being proactive yet positive. There is too much bad news to justify complacency. There is too much good news to justify despair. Oh, sorry, wait, did I say that wrong? There's too much bad news to justify complacency. There is too much good news to justify despair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just basically saying like, yeah, with all the bad news out there, you shouldn't be like
don't fixate on those bad shit.
It's still do you.
Yeah.
Same thing on the good side of things. That there's too much good news to be sad. Like sad. Go out there and just do you. Figure out what it is that you want to do. I mean, it's just in line with everything else. Focus on what you can control. Do you. Go all in on it.
I heard a quote recently. I think I put it on my Instagram. It was, worrying is like paying a debt that you don't owe.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's a good one.
That is really good.
That's a good one. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I sent that one to Gina because she's a worry wart for just about everything.
Oh yeah, I think.
Well,
that's the thing. I think I saw something today from the Daily Stoic. What was it that I shared? You're better off not giving the small things more time than they deserve. You know, it's the same thing. Like, don't worry about this. Don't sweat the small stuff. Control what you can control.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. All right. Next. Writer and professor Joseph Campbell on Loving Your Fate. Niche was the one who did the job for me. At a certain moment in his life, the idea came to him of what he called the love of your fate. Whatever your fate is, whatever the hell happens to you, this is what I need. It may look like a wreck, but go at it as though it were an opportunity, a challenge. If you bring love to that moment, not discouragement, you will find the strength there is. Any disaster you can survive is an improvement on your character, your stature, in your life. What a privilege. Then, when looking back at your life, you will see that the moments which seem to be great failures, followed by wreckage, were the incidents that shaped the life that you have now. The crisis throws you back, and when you are required to exhibit strength, it comes. So yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, there's a positive opportunity in everything. Like there's no failures. They're just learning experiences, ways to improve and get better. Like I didn't fail. I just learned how not to do something. And I learned how to do it better. Like you learn more from losing than you do winning. And that's exactly what he's just stating here. In a more eloquent
much more eloquent way.
Damn professors are so
damn.
wise.
Joseph Campbell. It's a good one.
Good one.
I like that.
Yep. All right.
All right. One question for you. The best way to handle pressure is to apply it. What if you played the game like you were always on offense?
Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole theme of this whole newsletter, I think, is just you control you. You plan your offense. You do the things that you can control.
Yeah.
And focusing on those things, I mean, that does you no good to focus on what the other guy's doing.
Yeah. I mean, what's the purpose of offense? Moving forward, right?
Yeah.
So if you're always focusing on offense, you're always focusing on moving forward. You're never looking back or trying to backtrack and defend something. You're just saying, all right, another step forward, no step back. another step forward.
Yeah, the best offense is or best defense is a good
Good offense.
offense.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same thing
Yeah.
there. So,
Yeah. Just to basically attack every opportunity that you have. Just go all in on it.
yeah, go all in, man.
And pretty
Don't be
much,
scared to take that leap
yeah.
because it's a scary. It can be scary whenever
Oh, for
you're
sure.
doing something that's unknown or that you don't know how this is going to end up. This
Yeah.
could go so badly, but like it
Right.
could also go
Go
great. So
unbelievably. It could change your life.
yeah, don't focus on, all the bad shit that could happen. I
Right.
think that just where people get in that like analysis paralysis where they're just afraid to do things and they're just kind of stuck and they're kind of stuck in a life that they're not happy with or something, and that James Thoreau or
Henry
Henry
J.
Henry
Henry
Thoreau
David.
Henry David Thoreau that most men live lives of quiet desperation.
Yeah.
It's like how many people are out there that are just living a life that they're not happy with? I'm
Right.
sure there's a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, into like that kind of leads into, uh, I saw Chris Williamson's post today, which was
Yeah, I think I
incredible.
sent that one to you. I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, we could
About,
rip this on the
yeah,
show."
about men, which is sad, but what did it say? Men aren't seen as having problems, but as being the problem. And suicide rates, men under 30 have risen by 40% since 2010, and that's 4 times higher than among women.
40% since 2010. That's insane.
Insane. Insane.
14 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it dives into a lot of things. It's a quote. It's a quote from somebody that he had on his podcast, or I believe.
Yeah, actually pretty sure I listened to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
And
listening to his podcast so much lately.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
been
it's
so many
just,
good episodes.
and it's just not having a perspective or a why to push you forward. And, make some good points. There's just not the mental health care out there for men, or it's perceived as weak, which is a whole different thing that like the definition of being a man needs to change, because that's not being weak. Being in touch with your emotions and being in touch with your feelings and everything like that, and being able to control them and understand them, that's pretty manly to me. That's not being weak. I mean, I think we've asked this question before. Would you rather have an IQ or a higher IQ or a higher EQ? Emotional intelligence versus just intelligence. And I think you need to have a high emotional intelligence to be. You can have a high IQ, low EQ, but you can't have a high EQ and have a low IQ. Have
Yeah, I
that,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, but
man. So yeah, if you anybody out there struggling with anything, man, please just go see someone.
yeah, talk. I
You know,
mean,
there was a recent guy that I knew in high school that a lot of people that I know are pretty good friends with. I didn't really stay in touch with them too much over ever since high school. Committed suicide over I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and it's a big shock to everybody. Was he, from on the outside, it didn't appear to be
yeah,
somebody that was struggling with anything,
yeah,
but you never know what someone's got going on,
yeah.
and
No, I mean, shit, I mentioned it, and yeah, like therapists called it seasonal depression just because of the holidays and changing, getting dark earlier, and temperatures, and a lot of changes in my life. Like he's like, yeah, man, it's normal. You're gonna have this time where you're probably gonna feel a little down. Especially around the holidays, not having really any family here. I do, but not really close with any of them. Like really, my kids are it. So it's like, yeah, it gets lonely. But it's just a season. I know that it's gonna change. I know I'm gonna come out of it. And I'm gonna be fine. I just got to focus on the things that I need to focus on to move forward through those things. So, but
Well, all right, man.
eh,
Well, I think that's a
good place
good
to
place
end.
to end it.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button for us, we'd really appreciate it if you did that. We're happy with where the show's at, and
Yeah.
it's grown quite a bit over the last year, and we're just gonna keep trying to grow it, and it would help if you guys would tell a friend if you got something out of this episode or got anything out of any of our previous episodes. It's one thing. I was actually looking at some of the analytics yesterday. I noticed that a lot of people watch old episodes,
Mhm.
which is it makes sense because I do that too
Mhm.
with podcasts that I watch and listen to. I'll scroll back and find one that oh I know that guy. I'll listen to this one or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, so Hit that subscribe button for us. That would help us out a ton. And, hit that like button, comment what you thought below, share the show with a friend, and we'll see you guys next time.